Hey everybody, Tony and Sarah Zalecki. How are you guys? Hope you are doing fantastic. And hi replayers, I know a lot of you guys are jumping on the replay. So guys, we are excited to connect with you guys. We were actually just talking about just our business and talking about brand new people and talking about people that have been around a while. And a lot of you guys, if you don't know our story, it's really simple. We've been in the profession for 20 years. And a lot of people ask us all the time about being part-time, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when should I ever go full-time? And so we want to talk to you guys about that because we get a lot of those questions. And so if you're just jumping on for the first time, welcome. Hi, you guys. But we wanted to just, you know, walk you guys through a little bit of this because I think it's really important to know that, you know, when you're brand new and even for people that have been around a while, that being part-time is awesome, first of all. And I think a lot of people get a little bit disillusioned because they see these people in the profession that have maybe been around a while, maybe people like Tony and I that have been around the profession for a while, and they see us working this business full time. And so a lot of times they always ask us, well, when should I go full time? I want to go full time. And we're like, oh, hold up, like pump the brakes because there's some stuff that's really powerful about being part-time.
Yeah, I mean, part-time is cool time, I call it. It's the place to be. And, you know, to have a side gig part-time, to be able to, you know, work something a couple hours a day, you know, 5, 10, 15 hours a week. That's what it's all about. And that's what's appealing to people. That's what's believable for people. And there's crazy part-time stories when it comes to income, whether it's a couple $100 a month, a couple $1,000 a month. I mean, we have a lady in our team that makes 6 figures part-time, you know, doing the business that we do. So, you know, part-time is where it's at. And you know, here's the thing about part-time too, is that, you know, you can be very productive in those couple hours a day, in those 10, 15 hours a week. You know, sometimes I've seen people make a transition to full time and, you know, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, they're not really doing the business.
Right.
I mean, think about it. And so many more people are more efficient a couple hours a day. You know, they go to work, they come home, have, you know, dinner with the family, and they go crank it out for a couple hours. And those couple hours, they get so much done. They're so productive. They create so much greatness in their business with, you know, new customers, new distributors, you know, people registering for the next event, but they're really productive. And you want to be productive. There's nothing worse than going full time and not being productive, you know, that full day, that full period. And it really bums people out, babe.
Well, I mean, there's more people in our business that are more effective part-time than our full-time people. Like I could show you guys, like the people that are full-time in our business, a lot of times they're not that effective, you know, because all of a sudden you've got 8, 9 hours of your day and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with it, right? And a lot of times, I mean, guys, think about stuff that we've had to do where we've been down to like, I don't want to say time crunch, but we're allotted a certain amount of time, right? Like we're like, hey, we got to get this done because I've got 1 hour, 2 hours, or whatever it may be. That's why I love part-time people because I actually have people that are more effective part-time than they are full-time. And so I want you guys to understand, like it allows you to be a lot of times even more effective. And we're guilty of this too. I mean, gosh, you know, obviously we've been building this business, you know, full-time for, you know, a long time now. Yeah. But I even find, guys, there's days that run away from me and I'm the first to tell you that I'm like, oh my gosh, like what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I was even that productive. And sometimes I'm not, you know, because I know that if I sometimes have days where my windows are shorter, I get way more stuff done because I got to make it happen.
That's right.
And got to get done. And I want to share with you guys too, it's like, it's really important there's nothing, I tell people, like, we've seen a lot of people that have worked this business part-time. They're making 5, 10, you know, even $15,000 a month, you know, part-time. And all of a sudden they're like, well, I want to transition over to full-time. And then what happens is that, you know, they forget that there's ebbs and flows to our business. And then all of a sudden they're working this business out of desperation mode, right? Versus having fun with it, which I don't know if you guys realize, but when you're running a business out of desperation, a lot of times you don't attract great people. You have a hard time. All of a sudden recruiting is hard. All of a sudden acquiring customers is hard. All of a sudden working with your team is hard because you're coming from that mindset, right? And so we encourage people. We're like, listen, be part-time as long as you can, right? It's important for people to know, hey, it's not about just about making money, right? But it's about keeping money, right? I need to say that again. It's not just about making money, right? But it's about keeping money. And so understanding that there's ebbs and flows to your business, being part-time is really cool. And I tell people, like, we want you guys to be debt-free, right? Debt-free is super important, guys. If I open up this line right now and said, hey, like, how many of us, not just Americans, but even Canadians, right now, I see some of you Canadians that are watching, like, what's one common denominator, unfortunately, that majority of people have out there is that they're in debt, right? They're in debt. So we want to help people get out of debt. You know, we want to help people that are part-time. We're like, hey, listen, don't even think about going full-time till you're totally debt-free, right? I mean, I'm talking everything paid off, and then we can have a conversation about it. I think it's really important because people a lot of times look down on themselves going, oh, I'm just working this business part-time, thinking that people are going to look differently at them because they're part-time in this business versus full-time, which is crazy, guys. That's not true. You know?
Yeah, and you want at least a year reserves in the bank, right?
At least.
So you don't go into desperation mode and struggle mode, and you know, everything changes for you. And I'm just telling you that your part-time story, it's more believable than a full-time story, than a big money story, than an amazing story. Just your part-time story is what's going to get people into action. It's what's going to get people moving. It's what's going to get people taking that next step to partner with you and do, you know, great things with you. So I just think that, you know, you've got a great story and you're part-time. Just keep pouring it on, right? And just keep driving your checkup. Keep helping your team grow like crazy. Keep sharing your stories throughout everywhere you're doing it, social media, face-to-face, because that's what's going to get people excited, and that's what's going to get people to go, you know what, I'm in. Yeah, this is simple. I can do this, and I'm doing it with you because your story is that powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, guys, you know, like Tony was talking about, it's like you need to take ownership and be proud of your story, right? And the one thing I'll share with you guys is this, is that brand new people in the business, guess what they can relate to? They can relate to a part-time story. They can relate to a mom that wants to make an extra $250 to help take care of daycare or pay for diapers that week or pay down a credit card debt, right? A lot of times people will say to us, oh, well, guess what, guys? You know, I can't wait till I have a story like yours. You know what I mean? Like everyone can relate, you know, to hearing your story. No, guys, here's the deal. People can't relate to our story. Like people can't, I don't share my story a lot because guess what? For the brand new person or the part-time person, it seems it doesn't make sense to them, right? It might as well be like a gajillion dollars. They can't relate to it. So if you're part-time, own it and go, you know what? I have a great story to tell because more people can relate to your story. Your story is more powerful than a full-time story, right? And so we want to encourage you guys, stay part-time as long as you can. I know that some of you guys, guess what? You might love your career. You might love your job, right? And if you do, you can be part-time here forever. Like you don't ever have to go full-time, right? This is just another revenue stream, a way to create leverage in your life. I think it's so important for part-time people to realize, oh my gosh, my story is important, right? The story that you create is important. I love creating part-time stories. I don't focus on, hey, listen, we want to help you transition to be full-time as fast as possible. We don't do that. We've never talked like that. We've never shared that with people in our team. You know, we know that part-time stories are 10 times more powerful than a full-time story.
Yep, so if you want some more information about this, shoot us a private message and we'd love to give you some advice, some coaching, some mentoring on the whole part-time, full-time subject. And if you're going through something or your team's going through something, just shoot us a message and we'd love to jump on the phone with you or jump offline and talk to you and get together and help you understand it a little bit better.
Love you guys. Take care.